Well, look, I think that the use of the word sanctions is inappropriate right now. Our ambassador in Kosovo and our ambassador in Serbia have never used the word sanctions. They've used the word consequences. But absolutely, look, we are asking both countries to take a stake in regional stability, and those who want to be partners with us will work closely with the Europeans and with the Americans the on the points that we have proposed. In fact, that we are insisting on to move forward, and because this is a regional issue, so one country and one leader will not determine the course of regional and European stability. So those who reject the partnership will see consequences. I'll start by saying that we do believe that they should lift the ban on Serbian goods and the closure of the border to certain border crossing, certain types of vehicles. The European Union believes that not only is it anti-European in the form of blocking free movement of people and goods, but there is no legal basis for it either. So we, from the United States, support that position, and we also believe that it is an unnecessary escalation of the current escalation on top of an escalation. So with regard to the Prime Minister's criticism of KFOR, the United States and KFOR and others are going to wait for the facts. So we are going to wait for the investigations to conclude, and I think it's inappropriate to make statements beforehand. The one thing that we are asking, as I said before, it is very clear that these police were either taken to Serbia or ended up in Serbia without intending to be in Serbia, and therefore should be released without condition. I am very optimistic that we can still achieve an agreement. And it is true that these escalations have damaged the already poor relationship that the two countries had between each other. But the reality is that this agreement allows Kosovo to move faster and further in its efforts for European integration, Euro-Atlantic integration, than ever before. The agreement, now for those who question that it doesn't push Serbia far enough, it requires Serbia to recognize Kosovo's territorial integrity, its administrative control over the whole country, its sovereignty, its flag, its national symbols, its government documents, and also not block Kosovo into the integration of any international structure. So, in other words, for Serbia, it makes Serbia accept the inevitability of Kosovo being a full member of the the Euro-Atlantic family. At the same time, it also requires Kosovo to make strides in interethnic reconciliation, including the association, which we see as an opportunity for Kosovo to expand its authority over parallel structures. Absolutely everything that we have done in the last 60 days, 90 days, has gone in favor of supporting Kosovo. Serbia did not want Kosovo's application to the Council of Europe to move forward. We supported it. Serbia wanted us to push Kosovo to cancel the elections. We supported them. Serbia wanted us to declare that the elections were illegitimate because of the low turnout. We didn't. Kosovo didn't want us to recognize the authority of the mayors. We didn't. We didn't do what Serbia wanted. In no case over the last 90 days, I challenge anyone to find anything that we have done that has not gone in favor of Kosovo. Now, the one thing that we had cautioned Kosovo is with regard to the use of the buildings. Now, the use of the buildings was an unnecessary escalation in a time when emotions were running high. And the legitimacy of the mayors would not have been questioned if they had worked from an alternate location. They could have worked from the moon, and we would have considered their actions legitimate. Instead, they insisted on moving into the offices by force, and what happened was predictable and preventable. So every time that they make a point of using those buildings as a symbol of their opposition to the European and American plan, it damages the relationship between ethnic groups and the relationship between Kosovo and the Euro-Atlantic community. So that was our only ask of Kosovo, and for whatever reason, they continue to refuse it. But we're going to continue to insist on it. And if you want to talk about consequences, I would say that there will be consequences if they continue to ignore our advice on this issue. I will tell you that it is a legally binding obligation. So I would say that the current prime minister is muddying the waters by saying that Kosovo can reject it. So by rejecting its legal obligations, Kosovo is rejecting a European path, because it is an obligation between Kosovo and Serbia, but it is also an obligation between Kosovo and the European Union. So we're not asking Kosovo to do something that it is already not required to do. We don't understand is why the government of Kosovo refuses to acknowledge its legal requirements. Now, we've heard a lot about the prime minister insisting that all he's doing is implementing the rule of law, but the rule of law also requires him to acknowledge his international obligations, to implement court decisions on things like the Dechani Monastery, to implement fully the constitutional and legal requirements of Kosovo on the use of languages, for example, to follow Venice Commission and European Commission recommendations on the expropriation of land. So if we want to talk about the rule of law, the association is part of it.